Good afternoon, Vallejo. You are watching VCAT, your hometown television station. This is Community Forum, and I'm your host, Maria Bitagan. You can see our show on Channel 27 at Comcast or Channel 99 at AT&T U-verse. We are on Thursdays and Sundays at 6:30 p.m. I am happy today to welcome two of our members of the board of the Vallejo Community Access Television. And I would like for them to introduce themselves, and they are going to dwell on a beautiful subject such as membership. I think that's very beautiful. We need all of you to be members of VCAT. And sir, introduce yourself.
Well, thank you, Maria, and glad to be on your show. I'm Mark Lampkin, and Vallejo resident now for 5 years, and just recently joined the board of directors this year as well. So glad to be a part of VCAT in that capacity.
And?
Yes, I'm Tim Banks of Bay Area Sports TV, and I've been a longtime member here since 2010. So, yeah.
I am so happy. I asked these two people to help me because I'm very interested in promoting membership. And so I have all of these literatures. Support your local public access community network station, which is VCAT. And we have so many things here that we need. As a member of VCAT, you can learn to produce your own programs in the studio or out in the community. VCAT membership is open to all those who live in or work in Vallejo, organizations that serve Vallejo, such as clubs, groups, nonprofit organizations, businesses, government institutions, schools, colleges, and students. VCAT is a nonprofit organization in partnership with the City of Vallejo, the Vallejo Unified School District, and Solano Community College. I have some questions for these two gentlemen whom I recruited because I know that they have different experiences and perhaps their view of enticing or is it enticing or encouraging membership is different because they will probably use that experience that they have to capitalize on getting you to be members of Vallejo Community Access Television. As a producer with VCAT and a new board member on the board, how is this working? What do you feel you bring to the VCAT board? And may I start with Tim?
As a new board member, I've been able to bring the producer aspect mechanism to VCAT. When we discuss certain operations or things that need to be done, being the field experience, I can actually give many of the board members information about how to approach at least the production aspect of it.
Thank you. How about you, Mr. Lampkin?
Well, it's
because
funny.
You are more experienced
Well,
than all of us, you know, so we are here's looking at you.
All right, well, that's making me sound old, so I'm not careful about that. But, you know, I was fortunate to be introduced into community access television in 1982. I was a member of the Big Brothers of the East Bay, and another gentleman who was also part of that invited me down in El Cerrito to come and help out on a program there. And so I got the chance to see what community access television looks like. And so it really sparked me to then later develop my own business, doing video production, and like Tim, doing field work, but also having a background in studio production. So I'd like to think that I bring both of those elements now to the board, but also to have us thinking about how we can really work within the community to raise the level of the type of productions that we want Vallejo to be proud of.
Thank you very much for your answers. So, how long have you been a videographer, and what's the main video genre?
For me, it's been, to say how long is just kind of, I'll say when my daughter was in the third and fourth grade, I started using a home camera and recording many of her games and performances and things of this nature. So that was my introductory to videography, and as far as the experience is concerned. By the time she got into the 6th grade, that's when I became a member here at VCAT and learned more, got more experience about how to operate cameras and different cameras, professional cameras, and you know, so it's been since, and I've been a member since 2010.
Oh, great. Okay, so as a member for a few years and now being a board of director member, how has the experience been for you?
Well, again, my background is that I've been doing this for, oh goodness, 30 years now. And so what I saw here with VCAT is the opportunity to be able to now produce programming of activities and events that are going on in the community. And the beauty of community access is that, you know, it would cost you thousands of dollars to produce something for cable, for regular television. And so the beauty of cable access is that we can produce things on a quality level for certainly a whole lot less than that. And so what I've sought to do is to be able to now produce the kind of content that organizations who might not otherwise be able to get their events or their grand openings or what have you on television now, to be able to produce those and have that now shown locally. And because of the internet now, we can actually stream that on the internet as well. So they get both something on television as well as on the internet.
How does videography work here at VCAT? Tim.
Videography is pretty much simple. And to start with, here in the studio is where most of members can start out and, by learning and get exposure from to operate cameras, and then work your way from there, and then eventually work with another producer whose experience as far as field camera is concerned. Or sometimes you can just kind of wing it and just, you know, take a camera out to an event of some sort, or if you have something that you're trying to like if you create a cooking show of some sort, you can just do it at home. And then once you record stuff or work with a group, you can bring that back, edit, bring it back to the station and air what you recorded on, you know, any camera, and have that air right here on TV. So it's, you know, it's pretty much simple.
Okay. So I'd like to ask Mark, how do you work with other videographers, members, or even new members?
Well, that's a great question. And I think our goal is to really help people to navigate through the process. Great. You know, I would certainly love to have people who've got years of experience in video production. That would be great. But we also know there are going to be people who have no idea. Maybe they know how to shoot with a camcorder or their cell phone, but we can now teach them how to walk through that process. So we really try to simplify it as much as possible so people can, one, be encouraged to continue through and not be overwhelmed or afraid of the process. Okay. Because as Tim said, the goal is to be able to have them see something they've produced now on television. There's a real joy, I think, that comes from that, to be able to say, wow, yes, that's something I did, I shot it, I edited it, that's mine. And that's right. Again, the beauty of community access television. So my goal is to be able to talk in language that people can understand, to help simplify the process, and then get them to the end line, the finish line.
Okay, so now it's reflected that through your experiences, that's how you get your satisfaction by being a member of VCAT. And I can see when he talked about his experience and you talk about your experience, I can see the smile on your faces. So I think that your experiences really helped quite a bit in projecting to the people, in inviting them to be new members of VCAT. So let me read the mission of VCAT here. The mission of VCAT is to provide public access television to Vallejo residents to increase community awareness and pride, enhance our educational opportunities, and showcase our talent. VCAT provides training for city residents and employees of Vallejo businesses in video production and provides technical advice to help you create content for television and the web. So What do you seek to bring to VCAT as a new board member? Mark?
Well, again, looking to bring my years of experience as a video producer, even as a business owner, because sometimes in our meetings we have to think about the fact that this is a nonprofit organization, but you run that like a business. And so there are decisions that we've got to make that are business decisions, that are strategic. And so I seek to be able to bring those skill sets to our meetings, as well as to the things that we do around here the 4 days a week that we're open. So that way what we're producing is good quality, so that we're buying the best equipment, because that's where it really starts as well. You can't shoot quality stuff with bad equipment. So being able to now bring all of those elements to the table and hopefully make a difference here in Vallejo.
Okay, so Tim, what value does a community access channel provide? What value, in your opinion?
The business aspect, as well as the affiliation with various people here in Vallejo, from the mayor, people of the school district, and in general, other exposures such as being involved with the school. When we record different types of events, many people have seen myself and Mark and other producers out there in the field, away from VCAT, to record events. And so when we've built this sort of a relationship to where when they see Mark or see myself, they know what we're there for. They know that they're going to be aired on TV. And so after a while, that has grown. So I can say over the 7 to 8 year period, you become a well-known, face as far as a camera operator. And also when we want to do interviews, people will warm up to us very well. And so, they're always welcome to just be on camera. And Mark Lampkin here, as well as James Kennedy, or very two well-known camera operators here in Vallejo. And so I think the community looks forward to, being here, being, exposed on VCAT.
And if I may add to that, the
please.
funny thing is with James and me is if we show up somewhere without a camera, they're like, "Where's your camera?"
Right.
They are
Why
almost
are you here?
Yeah, right. You have no business being here if you don't have your camera. Right. So I think that adds the value, because now there's the expectation. That we're going to be able to record it, get it produced, have it shown, because again, people want to know that can happen for their organization. Many organizations and nonprofits may not have a budget to be able to provide for a professional videographer to come in and produce something. But as a community access channel, we can do that for a lower cost, if none, maybe even to an organization, because we're committed to be able to serving our community. So I know James will appreciate that plug as well, that when we show up somewhere and they're like, "Hey, where's your camera?" So I think there's value in that.
Okay, I have known Mark for the longest time. We don't want to reveal our ages. So can we expect, Mark, or look forward to any changes here at VCAT? Because knowing you want to improve certain things, and you will not hesitate to raise your voice and say, this needs to be changed.
Well, certainly we should all want to improve and have the level of production at a place where not only do we feel proud of ourselves, but also as a community. And when we get to that place, there will be the next level, and we'll always rise above. So I think in any endeavor, whether we're shooting something in the field, whether we're producing something in the studio, we're always going to want to make sure that it is the best quality that we can provide. And I think the other thing is that we're going to want to have more younger people involved. Younger people are shooting things on iPhones and other things now and producing stuff that is amazing. And so to be able to bring our years of experience and bring in their new ideas, their fearlessness, I think is going to be an amazing thing that we can take advantage here of at VCAT.
After I read this, I would like you guys to make a plug for membership and give the information how they could possibly get to us so that they can be new members of our organization. Vallejo Community Access Television is a community media service organization that provides access to facilities, equipment, and training. VCAT provides the opportunity for local businesses, organizations, and individuals to produce quality television programming, except this is access television.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so VCAT is a nonprofit organization, and as I have recently articulated, in partnership with the City of Vallejo, Vallejo Unified School District, and Solano Community College. Community access television is one of the most important alternative outlets of mass media a community can maintain. It is the only form of viewing media that brings issues and people together who live and work side by side in the same community. It is free speech television programming that gives a fair voice to the people, providing the coverage you don't get on network news. So I'd like to start with Tim. Please talk to our audience and convince them to be a member of Vallejo Community Access Television, our hometown television station.
Okay. I have to say that getting into videography has been a life-changing type of hobby to start with. That's how it started out for me. I needed something to get involved with. I don't work out and all that rest of that stuff, but when I got involved here, it was great. You know, you get to meet a lot of people. You get to learn a lot along the way. And it becomes kind of like a fun thing to be able to go out and record events and then, you know, spend a little time to edit these events and then have them air on TV. I started out doing sports, and little known that how I got started was one of the coaches, and I forget his name. It starts with a U, so he used to be the wrestling coach here at Bethel, but he's out there doing security as well. But he asked me to record, because he was a volleyball coach, and to record one game. All I did was just continue recording one game after another. So I started out with volleyball, then I went to basketball games and football games, and I made something out of that. I actually started a show called Vallejo Sports. And so every week I recorded anywhere from 1, 2, or 3 games a week and have them air on TV. The enjoyment there was that, you know, many of the kids saw themselves on TV as well as uploading these videos to YouTube. And nothing like being able to see yourself in an event of any kind. And then there were other events, community events that I did.
A lot of community events.
Yeah, a lot of, there was some veteran events and things of this nature, so I would record those. And so to see people's reaction to seeing themselves on TV is very encouraging. And, you know, just to know, like, wow, you know, that was really nice and things of this nature, and to meet many business owners, political figures here in Vallejo, you know, it's been, you know, a pretty good thing as well. So, and from that, it all grew to running Bay Area Sports TV as a producer. So, if you actually don't want to, you know, go that far, you just do something simple, whether that's to start your own show or become part of someone else's team.
Right.
Yes.
And I've worked with college students, I've worked with Bethel students, I've worked with other VCAT members as well and having their names put in the credits as a camera operator or whatever they've done with the group, then man, so it's an amazing thing. And when you have these uploaded on YouTube, you can go back and, you know, many people can go back and see their productions that they were part of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Tim. From your own perspective, how would you invite the people to be members of Vallejo Community Access Television from your experience as well as from your knowledge of people around you?
Well, Tim said it a lot. He really covered a lot, and that's
Yes,
great. He did, and I think that's great. Because again, you know, one of the things we're going to find is that there's going to be some diamonds in the rough here. And so if I'm going to say anything to those who are out there maybe watching this, is that you might be the next Spielberg, you might be the next Ryan Coogler. You know, you get started in something like this and you find your passion. People ask me how I got started in this. I was a 10-year-old kid with a camera. And to show you how old I am, you know, you used to have to take a roll of film. I know young people don't know what that is anymore. Roll of film and take it to Walgreens and get it developed. So I was a guy with a camera. And so I always had an eye for photography and those things. And it just evolved into video and then a business. And so what I would ask is that, you know, people who might have an interest in doing something like this to join us. Because we can take you from where you are with just concepts, whether you're a 15-year-old kid who says, I love to just create stuff, or someone who's retired now and someone who says, you know what, I love to cook, or I love to garden, or I love to show things about my cats, which is weird, but I'm not a cat person. But there's something for everybody. Because that's the beauty of community access television. There's something for everybody.
Yes.
And you can take a hobby and now create something that, as Tim said, can be on television, can be on the internet. Who knows, it might become the next viral video. But the nice thing about it is that it's yours and you can create that. And so one of the things I've done over the years when I've had young students working with me and my own company is that we'll go to a movie and I'll say, and after the end of the movie, they're ready to get up. I'm like, you can't leave yet. Why? It was over. No, watch the credits, because those are jobs. Most of those are paid positions that someone is getting paid for. And so as I'm talking to Vallejo people, you know, right now we already are kind of the North Hollywood. So imagine you getting your feet wet with VCAT. And now when Paramount shows up to shoot the next Transformer movie, or, you know, the next, what is that, 13 something that's, you know, imagine now being able to be on the crew. That's an amazing thing to now get paid for something that you love to do. And so my appeal would be to those who might see, you know, this is a great way to get started in something, to find out how to do something, working with people that would love to have you a part of our crew as well. And I think Tim and I both, and you, Maria, could agree that we would be so proud to now one day say, hey, they started here at VCAT, and look at them now winning an Oscar for a production that they did, because we all start somewhere. And so my hope is that we would be able to now have someone who say, you know what, I want to give this a shot. Let's try that. And it become more than they could have ever expected. So that's the beauty of it. So I really hope that we can appeal to that.
So now that the show is about over, I am so happy that I have your contribution in getting membership to come to Vallejo Community Access Television. And so I'm right. I think I'm right when I say your experiences backs up the way you entice. I say entice.
Enrich, invite.
Invite people to be members, because you will talk in relationship to your experience and also your commitment to what you're doing. And I think that that's a good way to talk about something where you want to actually get the interest of people. So ladies and gentlemen, I am very thankful for my two friends here, two members of our boards, Tim Banks and my good friend, Mark Lampkin. I have known them forever, and every time I turn around, downtown Vallejo, they're all over the place. So thank you very much for coming and for your contribution in inviting people to be members of Vallejo Community Access Television, your hometown television station. Thank you.